Alright, so let's see. Amber, how up to date are you on what happened last time? Should I go over that or?
Fairly up to date. I got through most of the episodes, so I think we're good to
Okay, sure.
carry on.
So basically, last time you got to Floroma Town. Lots of flowers, as per your knowledge of the region and the name. Smells really nice here, and the weather is fine. You immediately made a beeline for the Pokemon Center when you got in here, but after that,
Beeline.
hey,
Uh,
hey, I didn't even get to the bug part yet. You can't do this to me. All right, so they were holding a bit of a regular event, the bug catching contest. They said they took the idea from Johto, just to help whip up some more tourism, because the flower fields aren't enough. Not actually, but that tourism is a pretty big industry for this town, I think. So it makes sense for them to go that way. And so there were two kids, one who seemed to be living here, one who was visiting, and then a kind of a creepy guy, a tryhard with no principles, as you discovered. You went to the fields. You slapped some honey on some trees, and Mag was just sitting in a corner with some bait, making animal friends like a Disney princess. And then you were playing tower defense for like 8 rounds, as there were a lot of Combi around for whatever reason. They've observed it for the last little while. They're not sure why it is, but you saw it in practice. There were just like hordes and hordes of Combi who really wanted some of that honey. And then even though they're probably the ones who were producing it, guess they didn't take kindly to theft, because that's what you guys are. But yeah, you guys caught some new Pokemon. There was a Comfey for Chance, a Heracross for Lucas. There was pretty much what's his face? What's that game called? Hollow Knight. The Hollow Knight for Miles.
His
And
name is Tor.
the Hollow Knight with eyes. And Esme in the shadows caught that cutie fly that Chance attracted at the last part.
okay.
Oh, not a Chikorita. Okay.
How many people? What were your bets? Like on
My bet was the
what game?
Chikorita.
I was like
Absolutely.
convinced that she was going to take the Chikorita.
No way, yeah, everybody was like, "What the Chikorita?" And meanwhile, I'm being a fucking dumbass and be like, "Give me the bee."
The bee. They have chosen the bees.
Fair enough.
All right, so yeah, that's what it is. You've come back to the plaza, received your prizes of 2 stones. I've already forgotten what they are, but Lucas has them in his inventory.
I do.
Some berries, and then what's up?
I think it was a Thunderstone and a Shiny Stone, right?
Sunstone or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Sunstone. That's the one.
Okay.
Which is, I mean, it's relevant for the area.
Yes.
That makes sense. And I mean, I don't think Lucas needs most of that. So if anyone wants to
no.
steal it from him,
I mean, Lucas is out. Like, Lucas sort of looked at the 2 stones, looked up what they did, and was like, does anyone else need these?
they're too bright for him. He
Pretty
only has
much.
dark types. And some berries, and then some compensatory honey for your time.
Yay.
So, with that being done, the ranger did say that, if you want, you can visit the recipient of these fundraisers, which is uh, the botanical gardens to the north. And also, there's apparently a place called the Fuego Shadehouse, that is a large part of what the money went towards. And so, that if that piques your interest, it is up there.
And the Shade House is for plants that don't grow in the light, like
That's
mushrooms
correct.
and stuff?
Not necessarily mushrooms, but there are plants. There are plants that don't like full sunlight. Shade houses are designed to, absorb a lot of the light, but still let some smaller percentage through.
Gotcha.
Because I think they have open tops and like black or dark colored walls to absorb a lot of it.
Gotcha.
We should explore now that I'm recovered from my hay fever.
Yeah, that sounds pleasant.
Yeah, the Pokemart person did manage to find a industrial sized bottle You'll be set for the rest of your stay here.
I like to think that the cutie fly was causing it, but I wouldn't let it go. I was just hugging it the whole time, like I don't care if I die.
Is this like a cat owner who is always on allergy meds so they can have a cat?
Yes,
I don't think I've heard of anyone doing that, but I'm sure they exist.
that's me.
Is that actually you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you have a cat?
Yeah, they're back on the East Coast, but I have to take
Okay.
allergy meds all the time. Like
How's that
literally
make-
get up and be like, "Hang on, honey, I gotta take my fucking Claritin."
Oh god. How does that work out for you?
It's not
curious.
so bad. It's not
Okay.
so bad.
Sure. Okay. So just I was legitimately curious because I imagine there are people who do that. So
It's me.
love overcomes all,
Yes, even death.
even death. All right. So it is up to you.
Okay, let's go north. They're both in the same direction, right?
Yeah. So the flower. It's basically you're going back to the flower fields. If you remember, there was a passageway up.
Yeah.
Further to the north.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
Chance is going to so let's just go. Let's go north and Comfey can ride on Chance's head.
On your head, not
Do
on
we
your shoulder,
know-
not on your neck.
Do we know
Um,
what
I was gonna
PPC
say-
stands for? Sorry.
You know what stands for?
PPC. There's PPC Flower Shop.
Oh, that was. They have a really dumb sounding name. Pretty. Pick a peck of flowers.
Okay.
Pick
sure.
up. No. Pick a peck of colors. Flower shop.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
they called it. I don't know why it's named that, but that's what it's named. I like
That's
the
literally like they preempted the Pokemon that came out with the same name like
pick a peck.
2 or 3 generations earlier.
The Hoenn one has a much more sensible name. It's called the Pretty Petal Flower Shop. Not this tongue twister one. All right, so you make your way back through the meadows, and
Oh, yeah.
towards the north, there is a passage, and apparently all the Combi are still here. So let's ignore that for now.
There's
Just,
also
they've cleaned off the tree by now, and they're just wandering again all around. All right, so you head towards the north, and there's actually a sign here that tells you you're going the right direction. And when you get up there, it's a lot more of a. It looks like it's a lot more of a controlled environment rather than the the expanses of flowering fields. There's a fairly large building. It looks kind of industrial from the outside. There's like smokestacks and stuff, but it's been kind of painted like a soothing type of green color, pretty light, and it looks kind of like the grass surrounding it, and there are some balloons and welcome signs outside that show that you are indeed in the right place despite the smokestacks. Beside it, you can see there is something like if you imagine like a large, like a large estate, like a mansion, and the kind of garden they would have, it kind of resembles that. Not as fancy, but it's like there's paved paths. There are planters that are quite large. You see there's a small, like practical looking fountain included, and there's also from this angle you probably can't see it, but anyway, the Shadehouse is right there. And so if you make your way inside, you'll see that it is actually quite dark inside. They don't have it seems like they don't have lights on. You do see that they exist on the walls, but they're currently off, and it's just lit by ambient lighting, and the ceilings are glass. but it's basically the walls, like I said, are dark and it's absorbing most of the light. Let's see. There are a pair of signs in front of you, and you notice that the ground has some. Actually, can you still hear me? Just checking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So you notice two signs in front of you. There's some planters to your right, and then there are some strangely labeled tiles on the ground that are a different color from the rest of the floor. Let's see.
If we hit
so-
these tiles, are we gonna get reversey?
Yeah, so do you try to walk on it?
Yes.
Okay, so when you walk on it, it stirs to motion beneath you. It doesn't move very quickly, but it kind of just is like a conveyor belt sort of thing, and it moves you back to where you started before depositing you on the wooden floor.
It doesn't look that big. I'm pretty sure I can parkour over it.
Right. On the sign next to you, you actually see, please watch your step as you pass over the moving floor. For your own safety, it is advised that you do not jump while in motion.
No parkour.
Fine.
They're
Stupid
asking you
sign.
very nicely. I'm sure you could parkour over it if you wanted to. It's only, it's only a meter. If you did long jump in elementary school, I'm sure you could do it.
No, the sign said otherwise.
So this one in front was the safety sign. The one to the left says, like the journey of any budding trainer, your journey through the Fuego Shadehouse begins with a single step.
Okay. Well, let's go.
Dun, 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 dun.
So you can kind of see into here, and as you step onto it, like before, it pushes you through.
Okay. Ooh.
So you see another little planter here, some tall grass, which is different from, they have some normal looking grass here. Apparently parts of the building have had soil put into it, and it's basically as if you're outside almost. And the sign here says, to your left, you can see the hardy species of tall grass that is found in most parts of every region. In it, you may find wild Pokemon hiding from sight. And there's a little booklet of papers attached to the sign. And it says, as you make your way through the Shadehouse, take note of these blue stamp boxes. If you present a completed stamp card to our gift shop, you will receive a free gift. And on that booklet are some stamp cards that can be torn off.
Free gift.
I mean, Lucas will take one. I'm also like, this is a suspicious tuft. Is this an oddish?
Make me a Pokédex check.
Oh. Yeah, alright, give me a minute.
I'm here.
Anyone who wishes to can make a Pokédex check.
Watch
Chances
me
looking at
immediately
that
fuck
or
this up.
anything else in the grass.
So there's only a small patch here. It doesn't seem like there's anything else, but this thing that's in the middle does seem to have fairly large leaves compared to the
Almost
tall
gone up
grass.
to 46 Pokéed.
I've been on
Nice.
46 Pokéed for a while.
Oh wow, fair enough.
So, Lucas, you've definitely seen Oddish before. They're not super common far up north, but you do know they exist. You're not 100% confident that these are Oddish leaves for whatever reason. Maybe you haven't seen one for a while. But Miles and Esme can tell that this is indeed an Oddish that is sleeping underground, basically.
So is this thing here? Is this the stamp box?
Yep. So basically, you can see a slot to put the stamp card into, and it will automatically stamp it for you.
Kind of like one
Oh.
of those old school time card systems.
Basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Right,
So
I'll
them-
get my booklet stamped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Please tell me Lucas made that noise in game.
No.
Aw.
Miles did.
Oh, he's far too serious for that.
Boop, 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 boop.
Whoops. Apparently I toppled on top of Miles, sorry.
Miles is 13. Esme.
God's sake.
I'm pretty sure Esme
How
is
old is
like-
Esme?
I don't remember. I think like 16.
I think we established that Chance was the oldest person in the party, which is bizarre to me.
How
but
old
I'm
is Chance?
17.
I believe I'm 16. Sure.
Ara.
I thought I was the same. Anyway, I'm gonna go through. Sod it.
Okay. Let's see, you can see that this
Yes.
is basically a room with a tree in it and some flowers. And let's see, the walls here are so these aren't just like normal hedges; they are actually walls. They just have some greenery growing on them. So the sign here says. This peculiar species, colloquially known as a honey tree, has adapted to the presence of combi in the region. When it comes into contact with honey, it releases a strong, sweet scent that attracts nearby bug Pokemon, which helps this flowering tree in the pollination process during its short blooming period.
Or honey at it.
As Esme and Miles go up to the stamp machine, you see that there is a visitor that is sitting on top of it, literally
Hey.
just on top of the slot, and it seems to be gripping it rather tightly.
Hello, friend. Look at you.
It does not greet you back.
Oh, does it want treats? Treats
think-
treats is always the answer.
It looks like it may be sleeping, just kind of in the shade and very comfortable gripping what it's gripping.
Okay,
Is it
we won't bother it then.
hibernating? Like a cicada for 17 years?
It
Maybe it's
may
just
be.
the shell. Maybe it's just the shell and it's just fucking dead.
Do you want to try to move it like that? No, this is not what I want to do.
Chance went
No.
to the back to look at see what's back there.
Yep.
I don't
Lol.
want to bother it.
Oh, there is another one. I thought there was just going to be two arrows pointing towards you.
Yeah, Chance is going to be too curious to pass it up. So he's actually gonna go over here, get his stamp done, and then he's gonna hop back over to this side, and he's gonna be like, "I'm gonna go this way, guys."
So
Miles, get
the-
your unknown to bug it. Literally.
the Ninkata is actually blocking the stamp part, so you can't get it done while it's.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it hasn't been here for 17 years. Otherwise, that would be
Oh god.
Hello. The unknown are going to try and gently lever it off of the thing with their psychics.
Let's see.
I can roll the appropriate skill check for that if you'd like.
Please do. I'm pretty sure it's focus.
It is indeed focus. I'm going to roll it for each of the unknown, and you can use those numbers as you wish.
Oh, alright, well.
Let me see what
you roll multiple numbers in sets. Let's roll 20.
Double square bracket around the roll.
Like how?
Oh, that did it. No, it really didn't like that.
like these things.
Yeah.
Oh, can't do it the other way.
Right, but how do you notate how many sets to roll?
Oh,
You
you
do it
just...
multiple times. Each of those.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's a separate one.
It just parses everything correctly as dice. How annoying is that?
6.d6.
Put it in Discord? I'm not. I don't
Yes,
understand.
that works. Good idea.
That rolls 4 3d6s.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you have to type it in individually. I was
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
you would write like one number before the bracket.
No.
No. Just copy paste it.
AFK briefly.
Let's see. So, you can see that it's starting to lift the Ninkata a little bit. It doesn't come off immediately, and you can see that some of the paint on the box is starting to chip.
Oh. Just give it a little wiggle as it comes up. Try and jostle it free.
So
Gently.
it's actually mostly its body that's being lifted up. The claws are kind of staying put. It seems pretty well adapted to just like hanging on to whatever it's on.
Yeah.
Can I try and like wrap my scarf around it and pry it free? Like help with the claws?
Okay. Let's see.
This here is an old lady. Every
Should
I
be a
guess
stupidity
6
check.
months for her oil
I guess
change.
just do a athletics. It's not really a good.
Since 6 months ago.
Actually, no. This is like a. Hang on. This is like sort of like
200. Oop, fucking, this thing rolls away
akin to
all
launch.
the time.
I'm gonna make you make a
Put
stealth
on
check.
200.
No, but my athletics is so
Bonk.
good. Rev, please.
No. Not gonna
Right,
be that
whatever
easy.
it is.
Rev, why are you like
I can do a
this?
stealth check.
I'm looking for like basically a dexterity check, but that
Oh.
doesn't really exist.
Yes. Well, if I'm
Well,
useless, go Lucas.
The scarf makes it kind of slippery, so it seems counterproductive.
Lucas sort of watches Esme and is like, "What are you trying to do?"
I'm failing. What do you want from me? You try.
Failing at what?
I'm trying to get the bug up. We require stamps.
We
Oh,
we do require
Launch
stamps.
back.
right. Okay. Looks at the scarf and is like, not sure that's gonna help. It's like, you know, like those are like actual like sharp claws. Are you expecting the scarf to? Yeah. He like reaches into his back, takes out like some sort of tarp or something like a thick material because he doesn't want to have his hands like clawed. Sort of like firmly grabs each claw and just sort of lifts. You know,
Okay.
and you pry something open, because you're not trying to because lifting the claw off is doing exactly what the unknown are. You need to like pull the claw open essentially, and then
Right.
pull it up.
Right, as opposed to just pulling it away from the
Yeah.
box. Okay. Making a stealth check.
Sure.
Okay. I will say that you succeed in getting a couple of the claws off, at least enough to kind of swing it, sort of like a door, off of the stamp box. You can see that where it had grabbed onto the stamp box, there are a couple of pieces of some very small indents, and some paint is chipping off now. But you've removed the Mikata from the box, and it's still just like kind of motionless as it's still asleep.
Just like deposit it here on this like hedgy thing or whatever,
Sure. You put it on
and
on
then
this head.
and then get my thing stamped.
All right, you can do that now.
The honey tree actually a honey tree? Like, or is it like a mock-up of one?
It's an actual honey tree.
Interesting.
We
With the
throw
honey
honey
on
at
it?
it.
You could have.
Just kind of like.
Well, we
smear
actually
honey on
have
it.
honey, so.
Yeah.
I get the puzzle. Then. I get the puzzle.
I'm just sitting here watching you guys fucking brute force me. It was
But
funny.
I don't want to
funny.
spend my honey. Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, I understand. I would say you could like put a dollop on it using the entire honey.
I'll put a dollop on it. I don't give a fuck.
Alright.
Well, the point was we put the honey on the tree and then the Ninkada gets off the box.
So
I want my honey.
Esme puts a dollop of honey on the tree, and true to the sign, it starts releasing a sweet scent. And the Ninkada opens its eyes. It had already latched onto the bush, but now it kind of drops off, slowly crawls over the tree, and climbs up the tree to where the honey is. And it kind of just stays there, mostly motionless.
It's a Pyrrhic victory, but I'll take it.
We are so clever.
Hey,
just
we
the
did
best.
the thing.
He
To
solved
be
it.
fair,
solved it.
I did ask before we started to brute force it if we could throw honey at the tree. I did ask
Oh, did
that.
you?
Yes.
Did you? Okay, I didn't hear it. If you did,
Rev,
otherwise I would have said definitely.
We're doing me dirty, right?
Chance
Lucas
points
is just gonna go through this way. Also, considering it's dark, I'm just gonna hang on if the thing will actually let me interact.
I don't
with
think it's actually dark. It's just hedge, right?
it. No, I think
So
it is meant to be dark.
They're like They're like walls, basically.
Right,
just-
right, right.
they
But
just have
the
dark
rooms
in
are themselves are lit.
No, the
Oh.
lights are off and the walls are blackened to make the building fairly dark. It is lit by ambient lighting, like from the roof, which has glass panels in it. But it's fairly dark.
I'm just gonna use Solar as my like. What if I didn't spot something mobile? She's got dark vision, so.
Yeah, like it's definitely light enough that you can see where you're going. You don't have any risk of tripping over people or things.
Like when you go to
Yeah.
a museum that's deliberately darkened, where there's
Yeah,
enough
basically.
lights to look at things, but it's not well lit.
Right, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
So it looks like this all links up here.
Yeah. So when you pass this sign, it actually says, if you're looking for some active entertainment, feel free to challenge one of our resident trainers. If you prefer to live vicariously, you can also take a seat in the soft grass near the edges of the arena.
Sure.
Let's do both.
What? Whoop 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 whoop, as it were. What happens up here?
Okay. Let's see.
Still gonna pretend Lucas is doing that quietly under his breath, and you can't stop me.
Is that your head cannon?
Yes. Either he's doing it or Soul is doing it.
Is there anything of note about this bench?
No, it's just a bench for resting on.
Okay.
So, the first thing you notice is that this is a pretty nondescript grassy field. There is a stamp box conspicuously sitting in the corner over there, but also kind of sitting in the grass is what looks to be a woman dressed in a pink outfit and a flower in her hair. Seeing you come in, she stands up and gives you a little wave.
Just wave back.
Hi.
Hello.
And she says, "Welcome to the Shadehouse. Are you enjoying your stay so far?"
Yeah. It's quite dark.
It is, and that's for the some of these plants don't do well in direct sunlight, and we also have some Pokemon visitors every once in a while, and we want to help keep them comfortable.
Yeah.
We want to pet them all.
I guess we haven't come across any plants yet that seem like they particularly don't favor the sunlight, but I'm sure there's some in here somewhere.
Right, they're actually mostly on the east side of the building. The west side is more for it's kind of like an introductionary area with more things that people are familiar with. Yeah. So did you want? She points at the kind of box in the corner.
Yeah, I guess we
Yeah.
Do that at some
Yes,
point.
please.
But we also saw something on the sign about challenging trainers here.
Well, you're in luck because the two are related, and she gives you a smile. So I'm the one who's responsible for this stamp box, and you'll have to go through me to get your stamp. And she says, or so I tell the more adventurous people, but if there are kids or people who just want to go on with their visit, you're free to stamp it if you like.
Gotcha. Yeah, so we'll challenge you.
Okay. She looks at the four of you and she says, I don't know if I have enough Pokemon to take on all of you. Tell you what, so sometimes we do this kind of event, but if you can find someone in the building who seems interested in this, then you can bring them along and I'll team up with them for it, and then I'll give you all your stamps at the end.
I'll team up with
Why
you.
can't why can't you just team up with one of us?
Do you want so out of character? Do you want to do PvP? Is that what you're?
I don't know. I find that kind of scary. The idea of Esme or I going up against Lucas or Miles seems kind of frightening.
Yeah. So she says you can if you want, but she kind of just waits for your input.
I'll do it. I don't mind.
Okay. Well, then I'll take Lucas.
Oh, I guess I'll sit out and die then. Make it even.
So she sees Esme going to the corner, and she says, and she shakes her head. That won't do. I think you'll need to find, since you have an even number, I think you'll need to find at least one more person then. You don't want to be leaving anyone out.
Okay, sounds good. We'll keep looking.
Sure. Tom, you ass.
What?
Chance to go
Alright.
over the window sign.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so this sign seems less set in place than the other ones. It's more of like a temporary sign right now, and it says, okay, so there's a part of the sign that's like proper. It says greenhouse to the right, and then underneath it says under cleaning.
So the right is under cleaning.
Yeah. So it's under some sort of maintenance right now.
Look and see what we see in both directions before we go.
Yep. Let me just,
Lucas doing the shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
okay, so
Slowpoke.
Grab it.
there's a
Before in character, I think.
you have, yeah, in the fishing area.
Grab its tail.
Where are we going? I'm guessing this all links up. I'm just going this way.
Yeah.
Wanders off.
Wob wob wob.
So I'm gonna go this way then.
Let's see, this. Okay, and as I see.
Is that a window or a door?
It's a door.
Ooh. Did have a little window in it.
So you can see through it if you peek. It does seem to be a greenhouse. You can see that there's like a glass building attached. That's pretty small, or not that small, but smaller than this building. And you can see there are some people who are dressed like gardeners walking around, just sweeping up some leaves that have fallen, and another few are kind of spraying the plants with water, or something that looks like it might be water. You can't really tell what it is from here.
I kind of bang on the door and be like, "Hey, you want to join us for a battle?"
Amazing.
So make me a charm check with like a -6 because you're doing it through the glass and doing it in an annoying manner.
Oh.
You sounded so offended.
Oh no!
Arm is so
I say as I see it. Okay, you get a -1.
Yay.
You do manage to get the attention of one of the older looking gardeners, and he doesn't look too happy about it. He just shakes his head disapprovingly before he turns away from you, not looking at you, and he returns to his work.
Snubbed.
I guess I'll wander this way, sadly. I'm just not having a good day.
Chance will
Put
go.
headphones in and blare Linkin Park.
I've become so numb.
Yeah, so off the corner there, Lucas can actually see what looks to be a small crying child on the other side of that.
Right.
that
Yeah.
tile. Yeah, so he looks like he has someone next to him. So he's not alone, but he doesn't seem very happy. To say the least.
Right. Lucas is intensely awkward. So sees crying child and is like, yeah.
Oh, through there?
just watching.
Oh no, crying child. Mars will go through.
Okay.
Wub wub wub.
We're
Ask
aggressively
him if he
swing
wants to
towards
battle.
it.
He's not the type of person who's good at dealing with a crying kid.
I mean, he deals with Esme all the time.
Yeah, but you're not like
Not literally.
or whatever.
He's not. He's like. He looks like he's maybe 8 or 9 kind of thing.
Hmm.
Saw that-
Um,
I
and
saw
he's
the
there with-
corner of that image, and I was thinking that that was one of those. I don't remember what you called them before, Necturnas or whatever.
Oh god. Yeah,
And I was like,
he's
he's getting fed on. Like, what's going on
Accompanied
here?
by he is accompanied by someone. It's the terrifying ghost.
Oh
Oh
no.
god. So the lady is kind of kneeling down and whispering reassuring words to him. Something about we'll find it, don't worry. But she doesn't look too sure of herself either.
Oh no, did you guys lose something?
So she looks up at you and says, "Yeah, my little brother here. He just got a new Pokemon the other day, and it's not really used to him yet. And it went running off into the deeper into the building. We don't really know where it is, but
Oh no, what type of
we're going
Pokemon
to
is
find
it?
it. We're gonna. Well, she scratches her cheek. It's an Oddish, but
Oh.
she says we've also seen a few other Oddish on the way here. So
Oh my god, it's the Super Mario 64 penguin.
Oh no. I hope that wasn't your Oddish because we yeeted it into the pool.
you did what? I don't
There's-
recall you doing that.
There's
Yeah, me either. I'm across the building.
No, I know.
there's an Oddish in the room where you get the card stampies. Have you checked that one?
She thinks for a second and she shakes her head. No, we actually saw that one when we were coming in, so I don't think it's that one.
It's not that one. Okay.
Yeah, it ran away. It ran away in the fountain room.
Oh
there.
no, how do I get back to the fountain room from here?
I think everything is linked here, so maybe you should just go to the left.
Keep going around, it'll loop up. Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Bit of parkour.
I have some friends with lots of eyes, and they're gonna help look for it.
And she seems a little bit taken aback at the swarm of unknowns suddenly appearing beside this 13-year-old boy, as you keep reminding me.
Yes.
But she nods and says, "We would really appreciate it."
We're really
Right,
good at
and-
seeing things, so hopefully we can see it.
Yeah. So and the little crying boy sniffles. Still doesn't seem like he can get much of a coherent sentence out, but he kind of nods as he's blubbering.
Pat pat.
He says like, "Okay." Meanwhile, over at Lucas, he sees a sign that says, "With our busy lives, it's often worth it to slow down and smell the flowers every once in a while."
Is this just like a regular tree, or is this something different?
It is what looks like a very tall grass specimen.
Oh god, is that the Oddish and his one is really weird and tall? He's got the Alolan Executor of Oddishes.
Can you like? Can I like see through this grass? Like if I like peer in, or
Do you part the seas?
yeah, why not?
All right. Yeah, you can.
Oh. Ah, ha 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 ha! It's a shame I don't know you're looking for it. Anyway, he'll wander through.
Well, Mars is gonna go over here to this one that points the other way, and be like, Lucas, are you in this one?
It's too late. The bush is a very good insulator of sound.
Lucas! Lucas, the unknown!
The sign there says, and sometimes you'll notice things that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. Going off the beaten path is often its own reward. And at the end of the path, you see that there's a stamp box there.
Lucas is gonna like walk forward. He's gonna get to about here. He'll see this most likely, and he'll be like, "It's I can't remember." And then he'll just
One of
sort of jump over it.
Yep, as a good neighbor would do, not to disturb it.
Yeah, I don't want to kick it. That's mean.
Oh. Young boy, small boy, what is your Oddish's name?
It's audition.
It's
How can I tell it apart from other Oddish?
It's Eddie.
Eddie.
Eddie the Audie.
Eddie, Odd Eddie.
Yeah, Ed
Okay.
and Audie.
Ed and Oddie, yes.
Yes, that cartoon series.
Okay, thank you. We'll find him. Ah, Esme.
Hello.
This boy lost an Oddish. We need to find it.
Yes.
He'll say, it really likes the smell of berries.
Ooh. I think I might have a berry. Do I have a berry? I don't have a berry. Someone has a berry.
I have some berries. I'm pretty certain.
So one of my friends has berries. We'll find it.
Yeah, I have a pasho berry, a ganlon berry, and a rawst berry. In fact.
Cool.
And, the boy kind of nods and says, he's kind of
Oh, I know
picky.
that.
Does he like specific berries?
He nods.
Which berries does he like?
He seems to want to tell you, but he doesn't. He says, I don't know the name of it.
What does it look like?
It's kind of purple.
And does it have a shape?
Of course it has a shape, you dimwit. What shape is it? It's mostly just round.
A round purple berry.
He nods.
Okay.
Seems about right.
I'm not very good at berries, but I'm sure we'll figure out which berry that is. Esme, do you know which berry is round and purple?
Like chesto berries? I think.
You're not wrong. Those are, well, they're more, well, I guess they're kind of blue. They're close enough.
Chesto and Charon berries are the only ones I can think of. There are no charms of Pokemon.
And red. You're thinking cherry berry, maybe? But that's red.
Round and purple.
I mean, I'm on the wiki page. I could reel them off, but that's not exactly in the spirit of things. So.
Wiki berries.
Because there's like two round things on it.
Oh, and it's got like a thing on the bottom and leaves on the top.
He nods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's a Belu berry, I think.
Well, Lucas will get his card stamped.
Are
Jump back over the Oddish.
are the unknowns subject to the movie plays?
If I say no, you're going to go. I guess no, they're not. They're not subject. They just float over. They're just moving floors.
Okay.
Unless they rub themselves on the floor.
We're splitting up and looking for clues.
Oh no, meddling kids at your work already.
Boom.
Okay. I forgot that actually Lucas would have seen this. Just wandering through the halls is a shroomish, kind of just taking its time meandering there.
Ah. That's a cool Pokemon. I like Shroomish.
Shroomish is cool.
Ooh.
He's got a little grump loose.
Owain will go up and look at it intently for a bit, and then realise it's not an oddish and float off.
Okay.
It takes him a minute though, because Pokemon in this dimension, they kind of all look the same.
Racist.
I now talk and see Lucas and is like goes up
Lucas
to him
just,
and,
like, step out.
and starts like telekinetically pulling at his jacket a bit to get him to follow.
What the? Which one are you? I.
Racist.
It's
He
the
calls
bug type
his.
one.
He calls his Pokemon. I don't even know what the. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. What?
What, mate?
You what, mate?
You fucking what?
He's pretty common, is Lucas.
Yeah.
What? What do you want? Miles, why is your Pokemon annoying me?
Lucas, Tor found you. This boy here lost his Oddish. The Oddish is called Eddie, and it likes Belluberries, and we need to find it.
Lucas has this moment of non-plus. Like,
We
what?
need to help him. He's sad.
Indeed, he
So
still
are,
looks
so are
rather
lots of
sad.
people.
Yeah, but we can help him be less sad. God, you're
It-
old.
What?
That's old person thinking.
So briefly, on the left side, Chance has wandered into a room where it seems like there are some back doors that are just open to the outside, and there's someone who looks like another gardener standing beside the doors, and there is a fairly large patch of tall grass here with a sign, and the sign says, "The Shadehouse keeps its doors open to invite in wild Pokemon that enjoy the shade. Most are quite good at blending in, but if you pay attention, you might find some of them resting or moving.
Right.
Chance will start making his way towards the gardener.
Okay. He seems fairly friendly, another older gentleman, but he says, good to see more visitors. As you can, have you explored most of the places already?
I think maybe like half of it. My friends and I are like all over the place around here, so I don't know where they've run off to, but yeah, I think we've explored like maybe half of it.
He nods
this
and says, yeah, so if you want my recommendation, I say you just take your time. It's not every day that you see things like this, and he gestures at the oddish kind of just in the grass, and says, now, these little fellows are kind of common, but you know, if you look carefully, you might see other things hidden, kind of like them. They like the environment here.
Interesting. So yeah, Chance still has Comfey on his head, and he'll walk into the grass and sit between the two Oddish and zen out a little bit, hang out with the do what he did before.
Chance is the essence of Zen right now.
Yeah.
The oddish don't seem to react to him sitting down, but their leaves are swaying a little bit, even though there's not that much wind. Although you do feel a little breeze coming from behind you because the doors are open.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna pull out like some poke food and offer it to them if they're willing to come out of their hidey spots.
You're trying to seduce the oddishes. Alright, cool. Yeah, so the one to the top left doesn't react, but the one to the southeast kind of, after a few moments and the smell spreads a little bit, you can see that it kind of uproots itself, and the top half of its face peeks out with just its eyes, and it kind of spins and looks in your direction.
Hi there.
It does not speak English back, and
That's fine.
its mouth is still underneath, so.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, he'll offer it some food.
Okay. It'll go up another 2 inches, and then it'll kind of stretch over and nom some food. Or
Yep.
sinking down another inch.
That's fine. Yeah, and then Chance just kind of just chills there for a bit, see if anything else comes up.
Sure. Let's see.
I roll over the bush and hang with this shroomish. He's depressed like I am. I just want to like chill with this shroomish.
So that is a wall. These are all walls.
Well, can I parkour over this dealio here?
I mean, you
do
can
that while there are witnesses.
you can just
Yeah,
go that way, that way, that way, that way, that way, that way, in there, and then through here.
Okay, we'll just pretend I did that then.
Cool.
You can parkour over it if you're a rude
Oops.
guest and not fearing for your own safety. Shroomish has that grumpy expression on his face. It doesn't change it upon seeing you. It was kind of waddling slowly to the south, but when you come right up next to it, it turns around and starts waddling up to the north. But unfortunately, Esme is in the way. It kind of just bumps against you, and it pushes as if trying to get you out of the way.
I offer it treats and be like, no, please.
It stubbornly attacks your like not literally attacks your leg, but it's still pushing against your leg.
Owain will join in on the other leg.
I'm getting bullied today, and I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Owain is trying to understand the Shroomish, and in doing that, he is copying the Shroomish.
Channel is the new Shroomish.
Owain feels a deep kinship with this Shroomish.
Owain's all about the Shroomish.
The Shroomish is just asserting its dominance on its territory, which is apparently this hallway of flowers.
Yeah.
It's like a cat where, you know, like, it doesn't like when paths are closed off to it.
I guess I'll just kind of like scoot into this little cubby and die then.
Alright, so after you scoot away, it stops moving towards the north and kind of just stands there.
Owain will stand with it.
Hello, Shroomish. You're just so good. Look at your little grumpy face. Look at you.
Chance, make me a perception check.
Look at him, he's so grumpy. I love him.
He's just standing there now. He doesn't seem too rushed to move. Chance doesn't see anything. He does. Let's see. Is your intuition any better? Try rolling me one of those.
Not any better, but it's not worse.
Sure.
Well, the roll was worse.
Yeah, no worries. So you don't see anything, and if you look back, it does indeed seem like there's nothing there. But you do feel something block the breeze for a moment, and then stops blocking the breeze.
Like something passed in front of between me and the doors.
Yeah, you don't see anything, but that did seem to happen.
Okay.
And
Did the
now
gardener move? Like, did I get the impression that the gardener moved, or is there
no,
something
the
else?
garden is still just standing there on the left side of the doors. Something seemed to be here for a moment, blocking the doorway, and then moved off or something.
Chance will call out like, if you want to come join us, I have food, and he'll not look behind him or anything like that. He just calls out.
Okay, sure. You don't notice much, and there's no response.
Okay.
Let's see. Alright, so Esme is being cornered by this Shroomish now. What do you guys do next?
I'm just gonna try and give this Shroomish some pets. Right now, I'm on the same wavelength as his grumpiness.
Okay. It receives the pets because it deserves them.
Yes.
It doesn't do anything except stand there and receive them.
Okay, can't go down that way, so it would be down there, back up to there. Okay, Miles is going to do the loop to get to here.
Okay.
Mordred and Agravain are going to check the fountain room for Oddish.
Yep, they see 2 potted trees and a slowpoke, and that's it.
Fairly sure that's not an Oddish.
Did you just like leave mid-sentence?
What?
No, it's fine. Like as you just sort of wander off, Lucas would be like, "There's an Oddish behind the long grass." in there, and he'll like point with his head.
Oh.
I don't know if it's the right one.
Okay, and then just do the big loop and look through the long grass and presumably see the passage.
Yes,
Okay.
you see the passage.
Oh, can I ask the Shroomish if he knows Eddie?
You can make me a Pokemon check, I guess.
Make you a
Communi-
stupidity check.
With
To communicate with the
Pokemaniac, it would be Pokehead either way, really.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Lucas is gonna, just while this is going on, he'll probably wander through, and he knows there's this other bit, so he'll probably end up where Chance is at this point.
Okay.
As and when he gets to, as and when he's had enough time to get there.
Sure. You see Chance is vibing with an Oddish, feeding it, and you don't notice anything else in the room other than the gardener.
He'll wander over. What's going on?
You can see the sign, and you hear the the gardener beckons you over, and he tells you the same kind of thing as he did Chance. Just you're in the loop.
Well, like if you sit still and wait a while.
Well, it's not necessarily that if you sit here, although you can because there's some tall grass here. But if you if you look around the building, you might find some Pokemon lounging around. along
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And I mean, he can have a look around, I guess. I mean, this is the largest amount of long grass there has been.
Yep, that's correct.
So, I guess he can do much the same and wait around for a bit with Chance. See if he spots anything.
Sure. Which direction are you looking?
I mean, actually thinking about it, if he's trying to spot things, he'll probably sit like here, because he
Okay.
can see the whole room.
Sure.
Very much going hunter style here.
Okay, sure. Make me a perception check.
Sure.
Actually, make me a perception check for Solo as well.
I think they're on a similar amount.
You know what? Can Comfey make a perception check?
Sure. You want?
So that's Lucas. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Oh.
And I need to remind myself from our chat what, because Soda doesn't have her regular stats.
We should have had Liddy do a Pokehead check. Because he's
Yeah,
probably the
looking
smartest
for-
one amongst my party.
Solar is on. Solar's only on 2d6 at the moment. There you go. Pretty good on 2d6, but. So the first one's Lucas, the second one's Solar.
Okay. Okay. So it's pretty dark in here. You don't see much, and neither does Comfy. But Sola seems to catch a whiff of something in the air. It's pretty faint for her, but there seems to be another thing in here. And she looks at the top right, the northeast corner of the room.
Over here.
Yeah, but as far as you can see, there isn't anything there.
I mean, I assume that Lucas can notice that Solar has noticed something. Like,
Yep, I would say that's fair.
So maybe, I don't know, sneak his way up there, like slowly, and see if he can notice anything closer.
Okay. You can make me a stealth roll. I don't think there's much place to hide here.
No, he's trying to approach slowly and quietly,
sure.
because he doesn't know if the thing is watching him.
Sure, that's fine. So you can do that. And as you get closer, you still don't see anything per se, but you see there's a bit of a distortion in the air there.
What the hell?
Like the wall behind it is a little bit, or let's say the the pattern near the ground on the wall is slightly like raised
Yes,
there. It looks
so
like, and the
double
bush.
effect.
Yeah, basically. And once you're right next to it, it's kind of noticeable because if you look down onto the grass seems pretty bent out of shape. And actually, you can see that the grass there is depressed down as if something's standing there.
Lucas will sort of turn to Chance and be like, have you noticed this? Like,
Chance will like lift his legs and spin around 180 degrees and turn around and face that direction because he was faced 100 like away from it before.
Yeah, facing
And
south.
yeah, and he said, "No, I haven't noticed anything. What's up?" Oh, and then he'll look down and see the creature, like see the thing, the entity or whatever it is. Like, oh, that's interesting.
I
This
don't know
was
what
fine.
it is. Do you know what it is?
So, are you facing Chance right now, Lucas?
He'll have turned to say, "Have you seen this?"
Sure.
And then he'll just sort of be looking at it like, "I don't know what that is," basically.
Okay. As your turn to speak to Chance, you feel a cold, wet sensation on your cheek.
Oh. What? I sort of
Ew.
immediately turn back to it.
And you see a long pink thing hanging out before it abruptly gets slurped back in. And you hear something that sounds kind of vaguely like chuckling.
I'm thinking right now, Kecleon.
That's where my mind has gone. Yeah.
You just got licked by a Kecleon.
Like, sort of wipes his face. Oh.
The gardener is watching this, and he seems vaguely amused.
Sort of. Mate, can you tell me what this is? Like.
I might, but I think that would ruin our guest's fun here, and we prize all of our guests.
Bitch.
Good thing you're across the building there.
I am having a day.
I have no way of, like, revealing it, so, barring, like, picking it up, which I doubt it's going to respond particularly well to. Since it's licked him, he'll sort of reach out and poke it at this point.
Okay, your hand... Well, you see the air shift in front of you, so that the wall that you're reaching towards is no longer distorted, and you don't feel anything.
But if I pull my hand back, the distortion comes back.
So basically, it moved.
Yeah, I assumed it moved. Like, either it moved or my hand went straight through it. Like,
Yeah,
because like,
if you pull your hand back, it stands up straight again, basically.
Right. Solar's gonna go like over here.
Okay.
She's gonna sort of reach down and be like, "Can I pick it up?" I'm getting tired of fun and games now.
Yeah, so it doesn't really try very hard to get away from you at this point. So Lucas does feel something even if he can't really see it. And when he picks it up, or tries to pick it up, it kind of materializes in front of him, which may or may not surprise him.
What the? Yeah, it's just like, well, he's not pokey educated. Like, he knows there's something there, so it'll probably
Right.
like he picks it up and it's like, what the heck is this?
And it's kind of like it seems like it's kind of laughing at you. But it's clearly enjoying itself.
Laugh it up, buddy.
Yeah, he does just that.
Just like, right. At least
I think I will.
Was a Kecleon.
And the gardener, seeing that the jig is up, he nods with a chuckle of his own and says, "Yeah, he's a frequent visitor of ours.
Sure.
Sometimes when he's feeling a little more excitable, he goes deeper and surprises some of our other guests, but he's harmless enough."
I'm kind of like he looks like Lucas will look at the Kecleon, and then look back to the garden and be like, "Isn't it a bit weird that like a lizard's wanting to be out of the sun?"
I think so. The gardener says, I think he just wants. I think he just enjoys doing this.
Sure. Lucas will put the Kecleon back down.
He never stays for that long. And when you put the Kecleon back down, it doesn't turn invisible again, or it doesn't blend in again. But it does kind of like crawl through the walk through the grass and take a piece of the bait that Chance has been offering the Oddish.
Sure.
And it kind of just sits down and starts nibbling at it.
Lucas sort of watches that and then goes, "Oh yeah, wait a minute. Eddie. Eddie? Is there an Eddie here?"
None of the people here respond except for the gardener. He says yes.
Sorry, mate. Yeah.
Are you secretly an Oddish?
I'm on babysitting duty or something. Some kid's lost his Pokemon that's called Eddie. It's an Oddish. Problem is, there's quite a lot of Oddish, so I don't know which one it is.
He says, oh, well, I don't feel particularly odd today, but he'll say, there are, as you've seen, they like going wherever there's soil and just plopping themselves down. So any of the rooms with grass, probably a fair bet. I don't think they'll be just wandering around.
Yeah, that's what. Well, I know. He's like, well, I can see this one. Points at it, and I think that's one there. I was just seeing if they respond to their name or not.
And there has not been a response to the name.
So, well, fine, whatever. He's just like, well, that was interesting. He's just gonna wander off. Thanks, mate. Just
Chance will
leaves.
also follow Lucas. Although Chance is going to ask, did you perhaps want to try to see if the Kecleon would be interested in coming with you? 'Cause it does seem to fit your aesthetic.
Lewis turns and looks at him at that point. He's like, what's that actually mean?
You like sneaky Pokemon, right?
What did you just say to me, you little bitch?
He has a brief moment, thinks to himself and goes, are any of my Pokemon actually sneaky, barring Morgana? Like,
I was gonna say more.
Javelin is called Javelin because he hurled himself at me when I met him. Cobalt is like, he basically wants to duel everything he meets. So I don't know how particularly stealthy he is. And Nebby is like a floating seahorse. So I'm not sure how.
I don't remember what Gary is, but like all of your Pokemon.
It's a Magikarp.
Oh, okay, that's right. All of your Pokemon, other than Javelin, seem like they'd be pretty sneaky. And actually, I can see Javelin even being sneaky if the conditions are right.
The idea of
Lucas looks
the
kind of
is terrifying.
Lucas looks kind of perplexed because, as far as he's concerned, the only one who is actually like sneaky or underhanded in any way is Morgana. Solar is bright white.
Right, but I bet you Solo's stealth is pretty good.
I don't actually know is the truth. Stealth. Yes, it is actually. It's 46 plus 2.
Yeah.
Which is weird because it's bright white. But like, yeah, Lucas looks just kind of, as far as he's concerned, no fucking way. And he just looks kind of confused at you, and it's like, not intentionally.
Well, fair enough. I just thought,
Yeah, no, I'm good without the kind of Mickey taking chameleon. It just sort of wanders off.
Oof.
The poor baby.
It basically made fun of him. He's not really.
Chance, make me an intuition check.
Okay.
I know what's happening. but Chance may not know what's happening. Chance doesn't know what's happening.
Yep, nope. Completely. Everything's completely normal.
Aaron knows what's happening. Okay, yeah, so I'll rejoin the others and go and see the areas that I haven't seen the entire time we've been in here.
Sure. So you see a fountain and a slowpoke, and some familiar looking unknown.
Okay.
You also meet the nice lady.
With Miles there to part the way,
Yeah.
go ahead and use his
Go
stamp
straight
card
past.
punch.
Okay. In and out.
I mean,
I-
Lucas will sort of realise there's not that much left to go through and head to the next area.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, Chance, once he gets back to this area, though, you can stop and smell the flowers. Like, everything else seems to be some sort of, like, riddle. It may just be related to this thing, which is not a flower. So, but he'll actually stop and smell the flowers as they go along.
Okay. They smell nice.
I'm gonna try and see if this Oddish is Eddie.
Okay. How do you do that?
I ask it if it's Eddie, possibly with an unknown, to do Pokemon interaction for me. Because I have the telepathy with them.
It does not respond.
Mr. Oddish? Hello?
It is asleep.
Oh.
It does the equivalent of rolling over in its sleep.
Oh.
By turning around slightly.
Mr. Oddish, I don't want to bother you, but this is important. Can you wake up, please? Poke, poke. Shake, shake.
Its leaves kind of shake when you poke it, as if slightly agitated. It stays underground for now.
I just need to know if you're called Eddie. Hello?
You receive no response.
What if I offer it a dollop of honey?
It might be interested enough to peek up at the smell. It will eye you suspiciously, and it will take the honey, the dollop of honey.
Okay. Are you Eddie?
It shakes its head.
Okay. Are you sure? Because if you are, there's a very sad boy looking for you.
It nods to say that it's sure.
Okay. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the honey.
Could you be persuaded into being Eddie?
We're not we're not Hans Molemanning this.
What is this area?
So
The gift shop.
The signs does say gift shop, and it's actually when you came in and you looked north, you would have seen the sign. So yeah, this is the gift shop.
What type of berry did you say it liked, Tom?
Bellu. However you mispronounce
Does this
it.
place sell berries?
It may. Yes, probably.
These berries are huge.
What?
Looking at flowers, you're saying that?
Bellu berries are like 30 centimeters. They're massive.
Like watermelon size?
A little smaller, but for a berry, it's pretty big.
Just drop it in the Oddish's mouth, knock it over.
Oh, it's like Kirby, it just swallows it
Yeah.
whole.
Well, I mean, cool.
Do you buy a watermelon? They might not even have them. They might not even have them. Actually, there is a watermelon berry. A watermelon, I think. Yeah, it is.
Well, knowing this is the gift shop and thinking that there's probably more things to fit in on his card, he'll wander back over and go on this bit, because I think this is the bit. Oh no, there's also this, but he's gonna go this way.
The unknown have recongregated. Has Esme been rescued from the horrors of the Shroomish?
No, she's still just vibing.
Do you want to be rescued from the horrors of the Shroomish?
No, he's my friend.
Okay, well.
Maybe I can, like, convince him to go around headbutting Oddish stumps.
We don't want to hurt him.
Shroomish isn't gonna hurt him. He's just gonna nudge them and be grumpy.
Yeah, true.
What do you think, little guy? Do you want to be like my little mafia enforcer for a bit?
He seems to like the idea of that.
Yeah, buddy.
The power and authority. So yes, he steps aside to let you through, because that sounds like a fun idea. Oh, never mind, this way, I guess. And then he starts following you.
Okay. Can I shout? No, that's a wall. Let's see, which way do we want to go?
We already did the one in the grass up the top, and we don't think it's the one where we got the stampies in the first place.
What the hell is
Chance
over
has
here?
found the puzzle room.
Yeah, so on the sign in front of Chance, it says, the Shadehouse, formerly known as the Fuego Ironworks, was graciously donated to Floroma Town by its previous owner, Mr. Telford Fuego. Mr. Fuego was a long-standing enthusiast in puzzles made from moving floors. This part of the Shadehouse is dedicated to that hobby.
All right.
Sweet Jesus.
I'll go get my stamp first.
Okay.
Anything interesting about these flora boxes?
Nope, they just look like they're there for the usual atmosphere that you've seen in here.
Okay.
I guess I'm gonna go back down this way to go check out this guy. I know they said that it's probably not him, but
Okay,
Chance-
fair enough.
doesn't
Chance
hurt to
looks
double
at the-
check.
Looks at the floor. These specific tiles in particular.
Okay.
What do those look like they do?
They seem just to have better traction. You know, like in, I don't know if you have these on your subway, but like at the end of the platform, they have that so people don't slip over. Kind of that.
Yeah, I live in Texas. We don't have.
Yes,
subways.
okay. True.
You don't have things for people who need extra traction or are, partially sighted or anything.
No, we have no accommodations for anybody that doesn't have a vehicle. Happens here.
What happens where?
Here.
Wait, how do I get rid of my drawings?
Click it,
You
delete it.
select it and delete it. There is only one way to find out, Meg.
Okay.
So it's like
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start with here and get on this conveyor belt right here.
like
Okay.
that.
So it pushes you this way, and then when you're here, it stops moving you. It doesn't push you against the wall or anything.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll just keep moving.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
And then I'll move here.
Okay. So this area is actually noticeably darker than the rest of the shade house because there is no glass panel on top. You can only see the panels right beside you.
Okay. And I'll get here.
Okay. Move you up. Yeah. 1 second.
What about stepping on? Okay, whatever. All right. Yeah, so I'll move here and stamp,
Okay.
and then I'll go down. See what's down here. What is this thing?
It is a wall. This was the original Fuego Ironworks walls. They had like basically red border style tiles.
Gotcha. Okay, so then I will make my way over here, and then stand there.
Okay.
Does this place not have an intercom system?
Chance, will you please report to the gift shop? Chance, will you please report to the gift shop?
Yeah, can't we just scream like, Eddie?
Eddie, you shit!
It's not a very nice thing to say, but it's oddish. are out. And
Ready,
the
ready,
sign in front of you
ready.
says, if you weren't able to reach the end, don't be discouraged. There's always another way forward. And underneath it says, if you did, then congratulations.
Alright.
The way it's set up, it almost seems like it's damn near impossible to fail.
Well,
I mean,
you picked the right option to start.
Well, if you came in here, then you could literally just land on that and stamp your card before you
Nope.
get. No.
Nope. Nope. That's not how it works.
Oh, okay.
You finish your movement before you can do anything.
Yeah, that one takes you all the way to the top.
Pokemon is
Oh.
that Indeedee? Oh my fucking god!
It's basically a maid.
It's the cutest fucking. What even?
There's a grumpy version as well.
Yeah, the butler version.
Oh,
So
butler.
basically, it looks like this is an eating area. You see that there are some picnic sheets there.
I see a purple thing.
That does appear to be a blueberry.
Okay,
Oops.
so picnic area.
So you see, okay, so Chance sees that there are these signboards that look like electronic menus beside each of the spreads.
Gotcha.
And yeah, and there's some like picnic themed things like sandwiches. They have some salads as well. Just like some pretty basic but good sounding food.
Yeah, like deli food. Yeah. Okay.
Basically.
Does this thing behind the signboard, is that like a small restaurant or something?
Nope, so it's more of the same.
Oh, okay. So where does the food come from?
That is a good question. Yeah, the Indeedee is standing there looking attentively at you.
Say, where does the food come from? Does it come from the gift shop?
And it kind of... the deli is probably in the gift shop. So it's going to nod at you.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if it's non-mechanical food or whatever, then I'll go ahead and order for the party and have some food getting ready while everybody's finishing up.
Sure.
The area.
So basically, you enter the order on the signboard, and then the Indeedee is going to go off elsewhere. Should be this way.
Ask it to explain its cuteness and smallness. I must know.
And then we didn't actually, other than the gardener. I guess the gardener is the only other candidate, unless maybe the woman or the kid counts as potential trainers. Although there is this path up here that we haven't gone through
Yeah,
yet.
there's an area up the top that no one's been.
I'm going to assume that there isn't an oddish hidden behind the crown of this tree. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
What's this then?
You said the crown.
No, I meant this area that I'm in, that I can't see the land for.
So,
Yeah.
can I reach one of the low-hanging fruit, as it were?
So my first question is, can Lucas read?
Oh, good point.
So there is a sign here, and it says, "This is the berry room. Berry bushes can often be found growing in loamy soil in most regions. Some species, such as the ones displayed here, have particularly fragile dispositions, but their resilience usually has them springing back within a day or two. Note, in the interest of keeping these available for visitors to view, please do not pick the berries in this room."
Sure. So I'll get my card stamped here as well.
Okay. Yeah.
And then sort of, these look like the right berries, so sort of kneel down next to this thing and be like, "Oi, what, you asleep? Eddie? Is that Eddie? Hello?" Just like.
So,
Do I get any response?
Leaves shiver a little bit.
Eddie.
It
Yeah, is
shivers
that you, buddy?
It shivers in beat with your with your each syllable
your-
that you say. Yeah.
Right. Well, that seems hopeful, and it's the right. He like looks up and sees they're purple. And it's like, it's probably the right berry. I don't know. It just sort of. He's like, right. How do I get back? Looks around. And is like, oh fucking. So he's just wander out here.
Yeah.
Like, right, and then go down. Like,
Chance looks at the sign, and then looks over at Eddie, and he'd be like, "All right, so there's this berry hanging over here in the back, and people probably won't miss it. Do you want me to lift you up and get the berry as long as you go back to your trainer?"
You hear coming from underground a deep fucking illegal, dude.
The Oddish calls me out for.
Hey, it's minding its own business. You know, it likes these berries. It's not eating them. It's just kind of vibing with them. Maybe it feels a kinship with them because they're kind of similarly shaped. It does peek out at that though.
The reason I ask is because your trainer misses you a whole lot. He's over there crying right now. And if I can snag a berry, even if I get caught and have to pay for it, I think that's a small price to pay to return you to your trainer.
At the mention of its trainer being sad, the Oddish's leaves kind of wilt a little bit, as if it feels guilty. It shakes its head and then just gets up out of the ground. You see there's a small hole where it was, but surprisingly small for the size of an Oddish. And it just starts looking around. It's going to go over here and hop over the plate.
Chance will do the same and walk back with him.
You hear down the hall, "Fucking illegal, dude," and it's going to look around here. It's not sure where to go.
Chance will beckon to it to go this way.
Sure. So it will follow Chance.
Lucas has gotten summarily lost on how to get back to where the other kid is, and then just sees this like mess, and it's like, what in the fuck?
I thought you were supposed to be the tracker.
Yeah, no, it's more because he's not seen the sign,
Yeah, no,
so
fair
he
enough.
doesn't. He's like, what the hell? He just wandered over, like, what?
That's true. It doesn't have a sign here.
Yeah, so he's got no context, so he's just trying to get back to where the kid is, and he comes across this, and he's like, what? He's probably stood there staring at it like, and
Very
he'll
fancy.
probably come to the same conclusion everyone else has with these lines, and be like, okay, well there's entry 1, 2, and 3, and since he's starting here, he'll be like, well, start from the top, so he'll end up doing the right path last.
Okay, fair enough. But we can skip through that and assume you get your stamp.
Yeah, I just like the idea that he's like genuinely has the
Trial and
intention of letting the kid know where the Oddish is, and just gets distracted by like
Yeah,
puzzle.
he tries to get back to this kid, but ends up in Kanto.
Yeah, and just eventually I get my thing stamped and leave again, and it's like, wait, what was I shit? It's just like, what was I supposed to be doing again?
Yeah. So, meanwhile, Esme is down there. I've almost forgotten, to be honest. And there is an Oddish there, far away from the events of the other parts of the
God.
Shadehouse.
I guess I'm just gonna let the Shroomish kind of just like, yeah.
Bully the Oddish.
Yeah.
The Shroomish immediately walks up to the entrenched Oddish and kind of just like plants itself on top of the Oddish's leaves, which immediately gets some furious shaking in anguish, and the Oddish pops up, kind of tilts the Shroomish over and just like escapes off to the side a little bit. And it looks-
Gary,
I'm
no,
sure
you're supposed to find Eddie, not suffocate him.
I'm sure I've seen a video on the internet that's been like that.
Excuse me. Excuse me,
co-
sir. Are you Eddie?
And the Oddish is too busy glaring at the Shroomish. The Shroomish seems unperturbed, as if it's used to this kind of treatment from people
Gary.
things it abuses.
Gary, apologize.
The Shroomish does not answer to the name Gary, and neither does the Oddish answer to the name Eddie.
I'm just gonna pick the Shroomish up and tuck him under my arm. He's being a little brat.
The Shroomish is now vertically inclined, as in its face is sideways. It doesn't seem to care though.
Oh my god, I love him.
Oh, it's amazing. This thing just doesn't give a
Picturing
crap.
it, picture it. It's just grumpy all the time, and now it's grumpy sideways, and he's like, "Well, this is just how life is."
I mean, if you turn it upside down, you can quite literally turn its frown upside down.
Oh wait, no, the top one is vertical, isn't it?
Yeah, but then it'll look like devious. It'll look like he's going like, Okay, I'm very sorry, Mr. or Mrs. Oddish. We were trying to find a lost Pokemon. I will take this disobedient young man and meet up with my party, assuming I can ever get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry. I hope you
It
enjoy the rest of your day.
He kind of gives an approving nod, although it looks a little bit, put off still. And it, in its new spot, it furiously digs underneath until all you see once more is some leaves.
All right, you come on. I like how Liddy's looking at us like, you swear to God.
I'm going to give you the ability to move this thing. Just keep things simple.
Oh, how do you move multiple icons at once?
Box, select, and drag.
Yeah, I need to actually give it a. Put it.
What did you say, Tom?
Box, select them, and then just drag the selection.
Yeah, right now you don't have permission over it, so I have to give you permission before you can use it. Okay, should be good now.
Okay, so dumb question, how do you box select?
Just
Click and drag.
Click and drag.
It makes a box that selects things.
Draw a box around it.
It's a strategy gaming term, I think.
Okay,
It's
so
from,
I
it's from
guess
RTS.
Yeah.
fair enough. So I guess we'll kind of like make our way back up here. Oh, that's so nice. Ugh. The screen is too big though. So I guess we'll just kind of like make our way back to this girl up here. Be like, excuse me, have you seen any of my friends recently?
Her gaze instantly goes down to the sideways Shroomish, but instead of commenting on that, she shakes her head and says, "Nope, I haven't seen them pass through again," which I think is true.
Yeah, I'm gonna just like.
Yeah, the last time that we passed through was when Lucas and I passed through after we've dealt with the top
Okay,
left.
so then,
corner.
right, so she'll say that she did see two of her friends pass through.
Okay, thank you. I guess I'll just head on back down to where these guys are and just be like, hello. I hope you've had better luck than I have.
And seeing as there is a small child hugging an Oddish, who seems to be tolerating it for the most part, it seems like there has been a success here.
Yay.
Meanwhile, I'm lost in this fucking corridor.
Tom got on a magical bus.
I'm in Azalea
not
Forest
lost.
now.
You're not lost. It's just that we split the party, so
Yeah.
that Rev's having to deal with everything.
Yeah.
So down this hall you see there's a row of flowers,
Ooh.
and there's also two familiar folks here. You probably can't see that.
Am I going to remember who they are? Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Hello.
You very much remember them. And the Randolph turns and gives you a very short bow. And April was reading the sign, but she turns around as well and waves. And she says, "Oh, I didn't expect to see you here."
Oh, I didn't expect to see you here.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen... Sorry, go on.
While you're walking by, make me a perception check. I think we're gonna pass this.
Yeah. Do you want me or me and the unknown or what?
I think you're probably good. So there's a row of flowers, and one of the flowers isn't actually a flower.
Oh,
What is that?
that's a small mushroom Pokemon.
It's vaguely shaped like the pink flower that it was placed on the map.
More lol.
It's
Yeah,
one of the
more lols.
Pokemon on Chance's wish list.
Oh my god.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Look at it, it's so tiny.
Fairy grass mushroom. It's like a good version of, I guess, Oddish, really.
Which is cool. Like the Vileplume has some really cool abilities.
Vileplume is pretty strong.
And then, I mean, I assume Blossom is good, but I don't like that type of Pokemon, so...
What, happy?
No, like,
I don't
The
like when my Pokemon are
explicitly-
happy.
the explicitly, like, healer-type Pokemon.
Sure.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
Also, Pokemon that are pure grass, or pure type of any type, and they don't have any coverage. Like, Blossom doesn't have any coverage. Just like Petalil or Lilligant, and like Lilligant is probably my favorite mono-type Pokemon that doesn't have any other coverage other than its own type. And even then, like, it's still sad.
it is a little bit sad. Let's see. So yeah, she'll say, what brings you here?
Oh, well, we did the bug catching contest in the town a little bit back. And then they said we could check this bit out, and it's cool. But there's a boy in down the way a bit. He lost his Oddish, and I'm looking for it.
And she frowns and says, so after you talk about the bug catching contest, she seems like she's going to comment on that. But instead, at the end of your little spiel there, she says, she frowns and says, "Oh, that's not good. Quickly, Randolph, let us be off, and maybe we can provide some assistance."
Oh, that would be
Wait,
good.
Randolph.
Thank you.
And her Pokemon are just out and following her, and she doesn't really call for them specifically, but they follow behind her like the good-mannered Pokemon they are. Except the Fomantis, who is still
Sassy little bitch.
gives you a kind of a an appraising look, as if to see if you've gotten any stronger since last time. And but they go off past this place. They don't stop for the stamp collector, so you hazard a guess April's already done it.
Mm.
It
She's
is
just too rich.
unknown.
Doesn't need the
Yeah.
gift.
It is unknown whether or not Randolph has participated. He is a mystery.
The idea of Randolph participating is very curious to me.
Yeah, I know.
I like the idea that Randolph was like, oh, well, that's a nice little activity for the children, and then April handed him a card and he knew what had to be done.
Yeah, I mean, that actually seems pretty likely to me. Like one for you too. And he says, thank you very much, my lady. And yeah, so they go off here, and they are going to wait for Miles though if he comes along.
Yes, well, I see there's a Sprout, and I don't know that the Oddish has been found.
Okay, yeah.
So I will be investigating the Sprouts for Oddishness and then Eddiness.
Yeah, mixed in with the with the leaves of the flowers is another Oddish, and the Eddiness level of this Oddish is fairly low. It's
Low, yeah. It's not entirely surprising.
no, not really.
And having identified that this is not Eddie, we will stamp the card. We'll read the sign for completeness.
Okay. Sure. It says, Sinnoh is home to many flower species. Due to the unique growing conditions and bug type population here in the Floroma flower fields, visitors can see most of them here.
Cool. And then we'll stamp the card. And
Okay.
then we will continue through to the pool area. Wave to the
Okay.
slowpoke as we go by. Which I imagine is only just waving from the previous time we went through.
So when you go through that way, you bump into something.
Oh. Whereabouts? Up there.
T-Rex.
Bonk.
You don't see anything, but you bump into something.
Ah. Unknown helps. Help me see what it is. Are
They see a lot of invisible things.
What invisible things do they see?
Some distorted floor tiles, and some distorted bush, and some distorted edge of fountain.
Right. Can they help me navigate it with our telepathy?
See. You hear a tee-hee mentally.
Hello?
About it. Absolute silence, as it is dedicated to its craft.
No, you laughed. I heard you. Where are you?
You say that as though it responded with absolute silence, as though it's dedicated to its craft, instead of just that being flavor text. you argued with the
Yeah,
narration.
that's totally something Miles would do. He heard something giggle next to him. He bumped into it. He knows it's there, and then it's silent. So yeah, no, I know you're here. Come on.
No, just like I'm laughing at the idea of you arguing with the GM narration.
Sure.
Arguing with the fourth wall.
So, since you're looking right at it and you have pretty high perception, I would say you notice that it kind of like slinks past you to your right, I guess. But you see the air distort slightly as it moves. So you know it moved.
You know, it's rude to bump into people like that, and he's gonna just try and move past.
And as you do, you feel a tug on your clothes from behind you.
Whoop.
You bend over backwards.
No, you know what that means. About face.
Okay. You don't see anything there.
That's also very rude. Whoop. And continue.
As you turn around, you hear a tee again.
Yeah, I know, but it's still rude. And if nothing stops me, we'll go down.
Sure. April will be giving you some odd looks, but she's too polite to voice them. Oh, that's not what I meant to do at all. Do a white line on the GM layer.
Being a schizophrenic in like Pokemon world must be so fucking confusing.
Alright, but April and Co step through to a very crowded area, so I think Randolph's actually gonna wait here while our Pokemon go through. I'm gonna have to step to the side.
For the sake of ease, I will remove the blob.
Yeah, sure,
But they are present.
Sure. Fomantis recognizes Chance and kind of pokes him in the leg. Not with a lot of force, but just to make him acknowledge that Fomantis is there.
So Chance has returned Oddish, and then everyone else showed up before Chance will like give the Fomantis like a nod, acknowledging it.
I'll say that you've had enough time to basically interact with the kid as his sister, whatever you need to say, and but basically when April comes down here and Miles, you can see that there has been a reunion.
You found him.
We found him. Yeah.
Where was he?
He was over by the berry tree.
Oh, that makes sense.
He was over by the specific berry tree that was designed for his interests.
Good job.
Yeah, so the older sister leans down to the kid and says, "These nice folk we're all helping you out. What do you say?" And still sniffling a little bit, but he's smiling now and holding his Oddish. He says, with a still slightly shaky voice, "Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
You have done some good for the world."
He says that.
Chance did.
No, he does not.
Wow. Wordy 8-year-old.
Text. Bloody
Yeah.
flavor text getting Mickey taken out of it right now.
When he opens his mouth, literal text comes out of his
Yeah.
mouth and just kind of drops onto the ground because gravity is now acting on it.
It's like the idea that like pokes Miles in the forehead.
Yeah. It's
One
like
of them is really long.
it's like Super Bonk, the rage attack. It just comes out of his mouth and he jumps on it and sails away. Please tell me someone here has seen that.
I have not even remotely heard of what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can find a video.
Super Bonk is great.
Okay, so yeah, and then Chance suddenly remembers, oh shoot, I just realized we were on the lookout for a trainer who would help the trainer inside the garden to challenge us. And would that be something you'd be interested in, April?
And she looks like she's about to respond, but Fomantis instantly starts like crossing its arms in like a what you would use when sharpening your knives. And it's kind of just like rubbing its arms against each other. And April kind of looks down at Fomantis and says, "Well, I think that would be a yes." And she looks fairly pleased at this turn of events, even though she wasn't able to contribute to the finding of the Oddish.
Awesome. Cool. So I guess we'll meet you over there in a bit once we get everybody collected. We gotta figure out where Lucas is run off to.
That Flow Mantis was literally having a Mother I Crave Violence moment.
Yeah, basically.
Meanwhile, elsewhere, rolling noises. I mean, for his part, Lucas will get his card stamped here.
Yeah.
Go all the way up the only other place he hasn't been to yet, because he figures that by this point Chance has returned the Oddish because he got distracted, and then we'll wander all the way around this bit. Probably completely blank on the fact that this is a Pokemon because he's not paying a lot of attention.
Yeah, it looks
What?
kind of like the flowers.
Hey?
Yeah, it kind of looks like the flowers. But...
Yeah, that'll do. Solo will probably sort of look at him, look at the Pokemon he's just walked past, and be like, yeah, okay. And he'll get his card stamped here, wander through, and be like, sort of end up here and be like, wait, aren't you...
So before you you go there, you bump into something.
Oh, where? Where do I bump into it?
Wait.
Here?
Yeah.
He looks down.
When you look down, it gives you get another lick to the face.
Takes like a cloth out of his pack, wipes his face. It's like, mate, come on. Just sort of...
Tastes like gullibility. That's what it is.
Hey?
But if you step around it, Randolph will give you a slight bow and say, well met, Master Lucas.
He'll have a moment before he goes, oh, where's...
And
Is it April?
Yep, it's April. Let's see. Do you say, was it April, or are you asking me, was it April?
No, he has a moment of, where's, April, was it?
June? September?
So, he makes a slight gesture with his hand. It's still like mostly by his side, but he gestures in the direction of south. And, if you take another step, then you'll see her.
Sure.
Have fun.
Yeah, well met, Randolph. Good to see you again.
You remember
And
the
then
butler's
he'll...
name, but not so much the lady's
Well,
name.
no, I think because that's how memory you remember the last time you remembered something, right? So now that he remembers her name, he'll probably ask the guys.
Fair enough.
And it was, yeah, and then just sort of wander past. And you're like, as he comes through, I assume, and then he sees the Oddish. He's like, yeah, right, okay.
If Miles is still standing there, you bump into him at
Oh,
the
bonk.
floor.
Yeah.
Shifty floor. And this hallway is not meant for this big of a crowd. You are failing the social distancing test.
Oh, it's COVID in Pokemon as well.
No. You're good. Although the amount of personal space here is insufficient, so they will politely back off a little bit, just to give everyone some space, because these passageways are narrow enough that they were not designed for crowds of people, it seems.
Sure.
But basically, the boy was in the midst of thanking everyone. Lucas comes in just in time, and he thanks you as well. And yeah, now everyone is
Awesome.
collected.
So yeah, I was just getting through Lucas. I was just getting through talking to April. You mentioned that she would be willing to act as the other trainer in the battle against the garden trainer. And
Oh right, yeah.
we
I
can get
almost
that last
completely
stamp that
forgot
we
about
needed.
that. Yeah. Thanks, miss.
And she shakes her head with a smile and says, "Not at all. I'm always happy to oblige a challenger." And she looks down at her Pokemon. She says, "And we have been itching to test our, put some of our practice to the test."
Yeah.
And the Fomantis resumes sharpening its leaf blades like a little gremlin.
Hi, Randolph.
Waves
Hi,
over the
Randolph.
barrier.
Yeah, you're my favorite. I love you. I like your mustache. Hi, Randolph.
Do you actually say all that?
Yes.
I read your book.
I read your book. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me that he would have written a book at some
Yeah,
point.
I love the idea that he's written a book and she's actually genuinely read his book.
Yes.
Yeah. So in that case, he looks pleasantly surprised, and
It's a book now. It's canon.
I mean, I think it makes sense. Um, he doesn't interrupt April when she's speaking, but she gives her a warm smile and nods slightly after he gets over his initial surprise.
Randolph, you're so cool.
And yeah, so that's basically so I think I know what's happening next session, but it's getting a little bit close to the end here. I don't think we can fit it all in today. So it may be best to continue this next time.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
I mean, unless
Yeah.
people are willing to stay for another X amount of time to do the combat.
I honestly, I would prefer to be able to call it quits here because I've got to do some cleaning before my wife gets here.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. I thought so. So let's just move everyone over there so that it's not as claustrophobic. But otherwise, we can do this next time.
And I definitely need to
Okie
remember
dokie.
to go over and ingratiate myself to the moral in this next session.
Yes, there's a moral. Go to it.
Yes. I'm naming this
Ah,
Shroomish
yes.
Gary if he comes with me, and no one can stop
But
me.
we have a Gary.
Yeah, Gary
Really?
the Gyarados will be there soon.
Oh. Right,
You
right.
can
right.
name him
Maybe.
Gary with one R.
Yes. One is
No,
Gary
he's
with
gonna-
one R, one is Gary with two R's.
No, he's gonna be Gary. He's gonna be like Garree.
Alright, well, I
Why?
don't think
Why
it makes
can't he
sense
be
to
like Pete? Pete the Shroomish.
the onion bulb.
Snub.
No.
Lawrence.
It's evolution.
I'm gonna call him Brutus because he's a little thug.
Yeah, I mean that would work. I think
Because he'll be Brutus the Breloom at some point.
that makes sense.
He's my little thug. I love.
You know, Braylon looks a lot more friendly, or at least less annoyed at existence.
He's grown out of the teenage angst and somehow apparently lost about 30 IQ points. Because it looks...
I love Shroomish. It's so funny.
Shroomish looks like it's been around long enough that it's done with everything. And Brelome looks like it doesn't know what day of the week it is or which room it's in.
Not a thought behind those eyes.
No. Lights are on, but nobody's home.
Although I think Brelum is actually still potentially vicious
Yeah.
because it's based off a kangaroo.
Yeah, it's kangaroo
Look at
mushroom,
him,
right?
He's so angry. He's so angry. Look at him.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
so angry.
Yeah, they're definitely
Oh
Brutus.
wow! Yes, that is an angry Pokemon. He is
Happy
more than willing
Shroomish.
to eat anything and everything.
No, how can Happy Shroomish be a thing? Oh my god.
What?
Look, he's so
how can a mushroom be so caveman?
I think it's the unibrow.
It's the
It's
the
the
heavy brow.
Oh my god, even Happy, he's just like grunts. Oh my god, I love him. Oh, this was fun. As always, Rev, thank you for hosting.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for playing. Good to have you back.
Yeah, hopefully no more disasters will happen.
I can't believe I didn't get the whole put the honey on the tree thing. I am officially a genius.
Well, you weren't the only genius in that room.
To be fair, I did ask,
Yes.
which makes me like the smartest person in the room, but also the dumbest person this entire fucking session.
Yeah, then we will see each other next week.
Well, thanks. Have a good one, you guys.
You too. Cheerio.
Everybody.
Bye bye.
Catch you later. Bye.